Hey guys, happy Monday. I am super excited about this week because, well, first off, I did not expect that we were going to have double and triple. I kind of expected because we just had a big customer promo and then we just had the BOGO last week. So I kind of felt like it might be coming. I thought maybe it would be held off till this weekend, but I love when they do it early in the week. And I think it's because of the way that Jason's been doing these leadership calls, which, by the way, Jackie and Twin were on today, and I was at an appointment, and I can't wait. I still haven't listened, so we're going to hear the updates from her, from Jackie here in just a minute, about the call today, but I definitely know he was dropping hints about putting some fuel on the fire, and I love double and triple, especially during any kind of rank advancement bonus time, just for the simple fact that it helps people kind of that extra incentive to go after those VIPs, because not only are you getting those VIP bonuses, but now you're getting double and triple fast starts. And that's one thing with when they changed the compensation plan from needing to have an upgrade pack to not needing to have an upgrade pack. And I think they did that because of you just have to be commission qualified, right? And we used to have a 100 pack. I don't know how many of you guys were around for that, but it literally was just the capsules and the lifestyle mix. There was not even a DFT. Did you know that, Jackie? Did you? I didn't know if you.
I was here for it, and that was like the VIP saving grace.
Yes, it really was. But you know what? But it's great now that you can get VIP without having that, except then you're not getting a fast start bonus. So that's where the pay might be a little bit different for people, whenever you don't have that fast start. So it's definitely better to get somebody started with an upgrade pack just so they have samples, they have their own products and so forth, right? And that's something I always like to talk when we do double and triple, and Jackie and I will kind of go over that a little bit. Incentivizing for your team, making sure though that if you're going to get those bigger packs that you're getting samples out and you're getting, things into people's hands. Hopefully you guys that did BOGO, hopefully when you stocked up on like plus lines and different things like that to utilize versus, so my dumb butt did actually capsules and stuff. And that was dumb because I was like, why did I do that, Amanda? And I realized after I hit the button. But anyways, we have a lot to cover tonight. And you guys listen, we are literally creating momentum right now. All right. It is more important than ever that I don't ever expect anybody to be on every call or anything like that. But if your team needs direction, they want to grow, make sure to send them recordings, right? We always post the recordings, and I know times don't always work out for everybody, but send them the recording, tell them to listen to them as they're cleaning their house or they're going down the road or whatever it might be, just so that they can hear the energy, hear the excitement, hear the ideas, right? Because that's where the excitement's born, but that's also when I know I've learned some of the best tips have been just overhearing a call as I was doing some stuff. And like, oh, I need to implement that. In fact, some of the things I'm doing right now are things I heard other people say and I hadn't implemented them. And then I started and my moment, like every day I have been slammed and busy and nonstop, and in a good way, right? But anyways, Jackie, so let's go ahead and just start this call first off with a recap of this afternoon's leadership call, if we could, and then we'll kind of lead into, I want to go over VIPs. I want to go over helping our customers thrive for free, because ultimately a happy customer is a returning customer. VIPs are the base of our business, regardless if we have a rank advancement bonus time or not. VIPs are the building blocks, you guys. So that's important, and creating momentum. So you talk, Jackie, for a minute. I'll shut up.
They definitely are. And honestly, when I heard that, I didn't even get a VIP bonus, you guys, because I signed up as a promoter that just didn't want to be on auto ship, because that's what I was told to do. We didn't know what we were doing coming in, like at all. So yeah, anyways, happy Monday, you guys. I'm definitely feeling the heat this summer, and I mentioned it on today's call. It's a different summer. And I know that, like, you know, if you guys are veterans, you guys been around for a while, you guys have seen a couple of seasons, it's been changing, right? It has definitely been changing. You know, during pandemic, it was different, right? Everything was so different. And we got the call, you know, I think it was like 2 days before the leadership call. And I'm like, oh my God, yes, I will do it. I literally just got on in at like 2 a.m. last night. And I was like, I got to be up for this call. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about, because personally, me, I don't have any network marketing experience, right? And they said, like, they wanted us to really talk about the Make the Call initiative, right? And that people are seeing huge momentum. And you know, even though I'm not moving over huge teams from other companies or other places and stuff, I am getting a lot of people that are coming back, right? I'm getting a lot of people who are just coming back at the customer level. They are coming back at, you know, they once were a promoter, but, you know, they kind of lost their way for whatever it was, right? Everything kind of rises and falls on leadership. And sometimes we have organizations and stuff where we might have leaders that kind of fall apart, you know, above us, below us, wherever it is. And, you know, those people want a new home team, right? So I've been seeing a lot of that. I've been seeing a lot of that stuff that's been happening. And we've never gotten a PDF where we can just kind of, we have a VIP, we have like the VIP PDF, and we'll like give it to somebody like, here's your bonuses you can earn, which definitely is the foundation and the building block of our business, right? But if you feel like you're lost and you're at the point where you're like, yeah, great, I know you guys keep talking about VIP, but I just don't have anyone, right? If you guys are at that point, because I had people come to me and they're like all the stuff you're teaching is great, but I'm not even at that point. How do I get somebody into the funnel? How do I get somebody that I can actually help to VIP? And of course, it goes back to just getting people on Thrive and really focusing on the Thrive experience, right? But anyways, what we were talking about on the call earlier was just kind of like, you know, I feel that it's different this summer. Jason definitely feels like it's different this summer. And I'll tell you why, because in January, I want you guys to think about what you guys were doing in January and what your goals were, right? A lot of your goals might have been, I'm going to start, you know, kind of the new year, new me, because that's what we all do in January, right? So everybody's kind of focused on themselves. Everybody was focused on, you know, popping out with an elite transformation, right? Focusing on locking arms with, you know, a couple people who were going to do the elite, the ultimate elite thriver, right? That's what a lot of people were concentrated on. And I didn't see, I mean, I'm sure there was a lot of events and stuff that were popping up all over the country, but people were more kind of focused in on their own experiences, really, you know, getting their feet wet with what is this elite experience going to do for us? And you guys saw the transformations of what Elite could do in the 60 to 90 days, right? You know, a tip, if you guys are having, you know, problems with customers and stuff, you have to get them to take pictures, right? Because a lot, like, we were forced, right? As promoters and anybody who was in the competition, we were forced to take pictures. We had that little ticker on there, the deadline. Hey, get your photos in. Nobody wanted to take their pictures, but when they did and they saw the side by sides, they were like, oh my God, I didn't feel like I was having any kind of movement or anything. But when you see the pictures don't lie, right? And they started seeing those little changes, and it encouraged them to go on and further. So I want you guys to really, if you guys are focusing on like the Thrive experience, like whether this is elite or not, make sure that you guys are walking through your customers through that. Like, you know, make sure you take a photo. This photo is just for you, right? That's how you get them to trust you, because you know what, they will eventually want to share it, but in the beginning they're not going to want to, but you want them to take that picture for documentation, right? So anyways, just a little bit of that, but that was what was happening in January. And I don't know what it is, I feel like this summer, with a mixture of the mix and mingle and a mixture of the Make a Call initiative, and of course with the Duo Elite that's coming out, a lot of people are wanting to get more into, you know, hosting events and getting together. And it's an incredible summer. I'm busier now with events and connecting. And these aren't huge events, you guys. It's literally just people getting together, people talking about Thrive, them maybe inviting their customer that's been thriving for about 2 months and they're excited about the products, right? They're just excited to support, they're free that day. And that's really what the, Thrive and Mingles are about. Now, with Thrive and Mingles, I actually just came from 2 in the past month, but the one that I was at this weekend, it actually turned into a mini vendor event, you guys, because we did it at a park and it was outside and there was a lot of neighbors and stuff walking by. And, if we were to just start speaking out loud and making it like we were giving speeches and stuff, they probably wouldn't have wanted to interrupt. So we kept it open and we were actually waving people down. And, Virginia, she's actually on this call. She's a 40K leader. She has a very beautiful community where luckily in the community center, in her community, they were doing free ice cream. So all the neighbors, you guys, were passing by our little Thrive setup and it was amazing. And what I got to witness, you guys, was all the objections and all the skeptic people. And some are open and some are not. And it's so important, you guys, to get out there belly to belly. And it's just, what I want to share with you is I watched Verge, right? She's an amazing leader. She actually started hosting her own, Thrive Experience call where it's kind of like an opportunity call. So she does one every Wednesday. So she's been practicing, right? You guys have to practice speaking and stuff. And she has been, all these people were coming, these neighbors and stuff. And you would see them, these are real life situations, you guys. They will pick up the Thrive Experience. They'll look at the ingredients on the back and oh yeah, B12s. Oh yeah, it has probiotics on it. Cool. I'm already taking those things, right? So, they walk up to the table and they're kind of having validation that, oh yeah, I'm already taking those things. Yes, but they're taking it for a peace of mind, right? So you kind of just have to jump in there, and have that excited confidence and just be like, hey, look, I know, it's great that you're taking vitamins, but why don't you try mine? Right? You guys have to go in there with that kind of confidence. Why don't you try mine? And most of them are kind of open to it. And if you just ask them the question, I want you to try this one and give me your honest feedback, right? Give me your honest feedback. I know you've been taking your other ones for a while. There were times where some people would kind of shut down Verge and she's like, but do you feel those ones working? And, it's just, if you're just nice about it and you just you're not super pushy, but you know what I mean? They will start to question. And you know what, if they're willing to create a free account, maybe take a 1 or 2 day sample and shoot your shot. Honestly, I'd rather give away 2 days for free with someone who I'm connecting with in person, right? Who they're exchanging for the free account and everything, rather for them than to walk away and me just never get that sale, right? I would rather do that. So really, when it comes to these events and stuff and getting belly to belly, I mean, I witnessed so much when I was watching Verge in action. I just sat there, you guys, and I would, once in a while I'd be like, she's a scientist, her husband's a dentist, just to throw in a little bit of credibility for the people and stuff that were walking by, right? I flew in from Canada and I was just saying these little things and kind of edifying her in the background. But she had it. And you the most of the things that I would hear, from the customers and stuff that would pass by was, I see you're really passionate about what you do. Oh, it must be you're so excited about it. That's really what you want, right? You want people to have a good reaction or they might not try it right then and there, but she did get a whole bunch of free accounts. She did get a whole bunch of samples out. And the community, they saw the community and just how excited and everything everybody was. So definitely, you guys do not sleep on those Thrive and Mingles. If you guys can, pop one up. Now that one was extremely inexpensive, you guys. We popped it up in her community park, right? We brought all the stuff. We had, everyone come together. They pitched in with whatever they were going to be giving away or whatever. And the community park thing is huge. I actually have a few Thrive and Mingles coming up this summer, and they're all at a park, you guys. Parks are free. That is something not to be slept on, even though it is very hot in a lot of areas. But it was amazing. So shout out to Verge. I mean, that was such an amazing event. You're definitely leading by example. Yeah, it was just, we heard all the objections, right? I had some guys, I take all this stuff, right? No, I'm not interested in that. We heard it all, but it's just kind of like, you know, we did get a lot of free accounts out of that, and that is huge. And then let's see, what else do we have? What else do we have? Anything, Amanda?
Well, I want to add to that because I think sometimes people think like I have to have all these things to be set up. No, you don't. Okay. You can literally, you guys print some pictures, put them in some picture frames, sit them on a table, pull out a kind of table of any kind. Yeah, sure. You could order like a banner if you wanted or whatever under the Lavelle Gear store. But really, I've just seen people print up big, like a sign and put it up, right? Put some before and after pictures in some dollar store picture frames and sit them on your table. Put out some samples and stuff. Obviously, if it's really hot, it's a good idea to pop up like a tent or something so that all your stuff's not sitting out in the heat. But you don't even have to have that. You don't even have to have that. And I'll tell you, I'm glad you brought that up because you guys, there's different things that you can set up at. Craft shows and stuff. I know some people are like, yeah, do I set up? Yeah, there's always people set up that. I used to do wedding vending events. I used to, around the holidays here coming into the fall, you're going to see a lot of stuff being set up at like the malls. I see downtown. Our downtown area has stuff set up all the time. There's like, not even just like the farmers markets, like literally I don't even know what it's called. They're just like all these tables set up all down through town. And I'm like, wow, when you said that, I was like, maybe I should see about how I could, pop up a table because I live in a college town. And honestly, like college students need to wake up and they're all like, drinking coffee and espressos and all kinds of stuff all the time. Like they don't even know what natural energy is. And I don't remember that company. I can't think of it right now, but it used to be like really big on college campuses. And it was like a drink, some kind of energy drink type of thing or something. I don't know. It goes down. What was it?
Isn't that Red Bull? Celsius?
No. No, it's going to come to my brain, but there was a company and it was like many years ago, but it did close down. But they were like very popular on college campuses. Why? Because it gave people energy and it gave them, no, I don't, the name is like a one name thing. It was like maybe it started with a V or something. But I know like Visalis and stuff like that too, but that's actually a shake and a whole system type of thing. But anyway, some of these companies, they've been around and they, talk about stuff. And people, you guys, you got to understand, you said a key word, community, right? So in your community, but also we're creating communities, right? So like when somebody sees something and they're seeing people gather, talk about it, being excited about it, that creates a curiosity. So like anywhere you could set up, you can join some of the craft and vendor pages in your local areas, and you will be blown away by the amount of places that you can go set up. And a lot of them they're cheap, like $25, $50 to set up. And then there's like tattoo expos, and there's big expos that cost hundreds of dollars and so forth, right? But really, you don't even need to worry about setting up at some of those right away, unless you have like a bunch of people that kind of chip in on that. But you will get free accounts. And one of the things that you can do whenever you have setups like that is you could have everybody sign up for a free account to get entered into a drawing. Maybe that's for, a month's worth of Thrive, which is worth giving away if you're getting a ton of leads from it, right? Because here's the thing, and I don't care how anybody works their business, all right? You can be on social media all day, every day. You can be on every platform if you want. It doesn't matter. The biggest key factor in it all is every day connecting with people. How you do that, it doesn't matter, okay? You want to make sure you're connecting with people and you want to let people know what it is that you have and how that can help them. People want to know. Yes.
Before we get carried away, one more thing about the Thrive and Mingle. If you haven't looked at that, that little section in our cloud office that, about it, is just basically just put together a little event, whether that's going to be a local or a vendor kind of event. I'll tell you, one of the things, what drew a lot of people to where we were was we had these these tents that were shaded. And, you know, if you guys have some of this stuff laying around, you guys put it to use. Like I don't own one of those things, so I would have never thought about it, but a bunch of the girls had these things laying around because maybe they do these things with their families. You guys probably have these things laying in your garage somewhere. And if you guys have it, pop it up, because those tents, when people were passing through, you know, the neighborhood, they're like, what's going on over here? And we just told them, we're like, this is an event that we're putting on for the community. We did lure them in with food. So it's like, we did have a little food table and we offered it to them. We're like, hey, you know, come get some, like, you know, some food. One of our girls, her mom used to cater. So she, you know, brought 6 trays of food. And, you know, we offered it to the community. We had like, you know, just like LaCroix, like those sparkling waters and stuff. We had juice boxes for the kids. And, you know, it wasn't like a heavy traffic area. So we were able to, you know, manage with it. If you guys, you know, wanted to make little sandwiches and just tell them like, hey, feel free to, you know, have some food. Everybody came and they like made themselves a plate. They hung out for a little while. It was so exciting. And then yes, Verge, she actually, she's so smart. Oh my God. She invited a friend who, you know, who was in her community who like sold soaps and stuff. She's like, hey, pop up your soaps. That way you get some like traffic. And she brought in some little sales from there too. So she really, you know, did it to like empower other businesses and stuff, which is great. But yeah, anyways, with Thrive and Mingle, if you guys do host one of those events, they'll send you a discount code for your event. So 72 hours after your event. So you send in your event to Lavelle and they're like, oh my God, congratulations. We can't wait for your event. Just to help you guys, here's a code where you can get 15% off for the 72 hours post your event, right? So yeah, they're super, super helpful with, you know, helping us close, right? Like if you guys, 15% is huge. So anyways, that's another thing. And I think that was a little bit of that, but, you know, going back to a little bit of the call earlier, I want to ask you guys, are you guys showing up enough on social media for people to say, I've been watching you for a while, or I see your posts, you know, like, do they tell you that, right? Are you guys showing up enough for that? Because with the whole make the call initiative and stuff, like, you know, me and Twin were talking about this. We're like little babies in the industry. We're not anymore, right? It's been 5 years. We've been around for a long time. We're veterans in one company. We've never been to war, right? Out there in the network marketing space. We haven't. We're so lucky. But, you know, now is the time, right? Where, you know, people are going to come to you and you want them to come to you and be like, I've been watching you for a while, or I see your post, or I'm intrigued. I've been watching you. You've been killing it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just because they don't say something to you, doesn't mean that they don't see you, right? Like if you are really, really doing the do and you're posting all the time, right? And you're showing up in a way that you're not just posting the 3 steps like you're a consumer, right? That you are actually about the movement, you're about helping people, and you're excited. So, you know, ask yourself that. The other thing is, are you showing up in person, you know, for people to see you full of energy? And they see, even if you were at the grocery store, do they see you full of energy? Like, wow, like, you know, how do you do that? People tell me all the time. I bring my girls around. I have 2 little daughters. They're 6 and 7. They always tell me, oh my God, you got your hands full. I'm like, they can't handle me. You know what I mean? Like, so are you showing up that way? Are you radiating, you know, whatever it is you're taking? I want that, right? Everywhere that I go, if I go to a beauty, you know, like a service or something, they're constantly telling me like, your skin is amazing. What do you use? I'm like, I use our Thrive Skin, like, you know, and they see my posts. They see my posts. Like, are you radiating those things, right? And when people see you, do they tell you, I can tell you're really passionate about what you do, right? Because I saw that everybody was telling Verge, like, wow, like you're natural. And I was in the background, you know, ear hustling, listening to what people were saying, and I'm validating Verge in the background. That's the vitamins talking. Like, she doesn't have a choice. Those vitamins, that's why she talks like that, right? That's the vitamins talking, like, well, you know what I mean? So just think about that kind of stuff. And if you are an introvert, or if you are somebody who's really quiet, you better make friends with someone who's really loud, right?
Just sticking Amanda around. Actually, I'm not that loud around like events a lot of times, but no, I'm just joking. I'm loud no matter where I'm at. It's like I come into a room and everybody's like, no, I do. There was a comment over here asking like what kind of things to sample. So I always would mix up stuff like not lifestyle mix. I'm not a big one with mixing up that and then pour it out because, it kind of thickens after time. But things like Blast, Thirst, even pulling out an ooey and putting it in a cooler and then just putting it in a little sample cup for them to taste. Different types of stuff. Like you could actually have like those pictures of those things or some of the samples sitting up and then offer samples to those. And you could just pour the Blast, mix it up in a bottle, put it in like a cooler, and then you could just pour it into a little cup for somebody to try. Thirst, you could even pull out the water and let them taste how good. I mean, it literally is like it's the one water. My youngest daughter, she should just suck down the whole case whenever I get it. And like 2 days, I'm like, oh, Leah. Rebuild. I mean, really any of our mixes. Now the Activate, I will tell you, anybody that drinks Activate knows, if you mix it with ice cold water, it doesn't dissolve very, very well. So it's actually better to like mix with like room temperature water. And I don't recommend letting it sit for super long times. So it's kind of one of those things, you mix it up and you want to drink it. So I kind of stay away from that. But those are things. And you can also do our different pro bars. You could cut them up and let people sample and so forth. But really, just keeping it super simple. You can even have some samples available. And some people do 1-day sample, guys. So like you don't have to always do 3-day samples and so forth. But you need to make it clear, like they may or may not feel anything on that day. It's really just for them to get the experience. Now, I was a day one thriver. So if I would have got a 1-day sample and tried it, I would have been sold. I would have been like, yep, sign me up. Like and I was sign me up. As soon as it felt it, I was like, oh, okay. Yep. I need to do this. I need to talk to everybody and tell everybody. Pro bars are discontinued. Geez, we see somebody said today in the chat, they're like, I can never keep up with things. And let me tell you guys something. Don't try. Okay. Don't try. I literally have been talking about waiting room. Didn't even realize for the last year, you could move any time up to the last minute. And that just goes to show I never wait to the last minute to move stuff around. Right. Cause I would have found that out. So don't try. Basically, the biggest thing is that you're never going to keep up with every single thing that's going on. Just like I said, you're never going to keep up with every call, every event, everything. But the biggest thing is just making sure you're helping your team. And when you find out from somebody else. And that just means you're growing and things are going fast, right? That's okay. But keep it simple, right? Our business is to help customers and help people start businesses and help those people that decide to start a business, help them reach their goals, right? So sometimes that means they need to learn how to share and they need to talk about it and they don't know where to start. They start by just talking about it, just sharing. I mentioned, before I go on to that, the Thrive Mingles, you guys, you too can also just get a group together of friends. All right. And I hate to reference this, but I'm going to. I used to make a post and I would say, in my previous company, I will skip the name of it, but I'd be like, hey, do you want to have a party? Right. And my host, I would offer a prize. Like they would get something if they invited X amount of people. All right. And listen, some of you guys don't want to do party type stuff, whatever. Listen, you can do this by the poolside. You can do this at a restaurant. You can do this in their living room. You can do whatever. Just get together. That is literally considered this, right? It's a mix and mingle. It doesn't matter. Like you're getting people together and you're having this stuff. And then these people decide to order. Now they're going to get a discount code. Plus, because somebody had 5 guests come, now you might offer them like a tier, like you get $100 in credits to order whatever you want. And maybe one of their guests brings 2 people and you offer some kind of incentive for, hey, if you bring 2 people, you get this, or they'll get a sample, a 3-day sample or something along those lines. So you can like kind of get creative with that. Also lead boxes. If you have any like mom and pop stores, anything like that, you guys, if you've never heard of lead boxes, you could literally put a before and after picture of what exactly Thrive is, put the box up, let people enter in. You can enter those things in that they are creating, they want a customer account, whatever. But those are contacts. Those are people that you can meet through that. So just kind of like, you could just go on and on about different types of ideas for the mix and mingles and getting stuff together in a community. But okay, moving on. Customers. So we have our referral links, okay? And I think a lot of people really struggle with helping their customers thrive for free, because when you sign your customer up, you're getting them signed up and you're just trying to get them signed up, right? However, I have been changing my approach. Whenever I sign somebody up and I'm letting them know about getting started, I'm like, but the really cool thing is that you get your own referral link. And the very first thing I want you to do as soon as you get your product is that if you know somebody or one of your friends asks you what you're doing, make sure you let them know you have your own referral link, right? And then connect them to me. I want you to get your product for free. Like, I stress this literally multiple times in our conversation. My goal is for you to achieve your goal and you to get it for free, right? So when you get your product, if you need help, with how to share it, if you need help with what to post, if you're willing to post, if you don't want to post, you don't have to, but if you want to talk about it to a friend and you're not really sure what to say or whatever, just they're seeing how you feel. Connect them to me. I will make sure they have your referral link. I will make sure I help them. Okay. So I'm doing that extra work right out of the gate. And then, yes, if I have a sample, I'm telling them to post and tag me as soon as the sample comes, as soon as they start the sample, whichever one they want to do. Some people want to do it before they start it. Some people want to do it on the first day so they can show like they're actually doing it, right? But you guys, the more aggressive you are with this, the more it's going to help your customer actually get the product for free. If they are not willing to talk about it and they are not willing to post about it, then they are shit out of luck and they're going to have to pay for it. I'm sorry, but that's just how that goes for me, because I'm willing to bend over backwards for my customers, but I cannot do that. I'm not going to do it if they're not willing to meet me somewhere on the path, right? So spend your time with the customers that are willing to share that. And I mean, obviously you're still going to help your other customers, but you're not able to help them thrive for free as easily. But you can let them know people don't have to get the whole system. Okay. They can get one or two products. So if you have a friend that needs more energy, has X, Y, and Z, you can give them different ideas, plus your posting and so forth. Right. And then also for your promoters coming in, we obviously want all of our teams to thrive for free, right? So when you're coming in a new promoter, try not to overwhelm them. You want to get them in a really good cycle when they get started, right? So I do add to the team page and I do a one-on-one chat. When they're ready, I will add them to the team chat. I make sure they mute the team chat when they're added. I make sure they know what the VIPs are. If they want to go towards those VIPs, then our first goal is to get something out there. And if they know anybody that would want to do this, to reach out and talk to them. If they know anybody that'd be interested in the business, to have those conversations. But really, making a post, guys, is very powerful. Somebody being excited about getting started with this journey, somebody being excited about what these products are doing, like for them, literally is the key factor of breaking that ice. So getting a post up immediately is going to open the conversation for friends and people to actually reach out and ask questions, and getting those 2 free customers or 2 customer accounts so that you can thrive for free helps you get halfway to your VIP 800 and like already have your customer for your VIP 400, right? So just kind of helping them, guide them through that. And then also offering up 3-way chats. Vanessa had a new promoter that just joined. She had her in a chat with me. And then she sent her like her package or the different packages that you could get. And kind of that was just something as an example today, right? Because she has somebody getting started and she just kind of wants that person to know they also have somebody else that they can rely on, that they can ask questions to and answer anything along the way. And you guys, please don't take that as less because you're connecting them with somebody. No, you're offering them more support. You're offering them somebody else in case you're unavailable, because our ultimate goal is to help them reach their goals, right? And some people are going to want to come in. Finding out what somebody wants to achieve when they come in is probably one of your biggest things you need to find out. Is that, do they want to go after the VIP bonuses and hit them? Make sure they know they're available. Do they want to go after the rank advancements that are available right now? Because the last thing you want to do is drive your new promoter nuts when they legit don't have any interest in wanting to really build. They just want to like kind of be here and there and do it when they want to do it. But never demand that this is what they have to do. Find out how they want to work their business, and then you can share with them ways that can help kind of grow, right? So like, they don't have to post 10 times today. All right. They don't have to be on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. They don't have to go live. They don't have to do all these things. However, ask them, how are you reaching new people? Are you able to connect? Like, are you interacting and like, are you sharing about the products? Are you talking to people about samples? If they say no to those things, can I offer you some suggestions of how?
Couple golden nuggets. I have to just highlight, because just some of the things you said. One of the things was, when you get somebody into the group chat, you tell them to mute the group chat, because it can get very overwhelming. That doesn't mean don't listen to the group chat. What it means is like, go in there and check the group chat and make sure that you check it like once a day, right? Or however many times you want to a day. Some people are crazy like me, and they're constantly on their phone and looking all the time. But muting it is probably like, like not everybody has like the tolerance for the crazy group chats, right? So I think that is solid advice. So then that way you don't scare away somebody, because somebody might just be like, oh my God, it's just too much. And of course it's too much, because if you're learning something brand new. So telling someone to mute it is key. And then something else you said, what was it? Something else along those lines. Oh, how are you reaching new people? I think that's also huge, because, for some of you guys who have been in this business for a long time, if you're somebody who posts 10 times a day, like myself and like a lot of the, veteran thrivers, it could be overwhelming for someone. That's the whole reason why they say, I can't do what you do, right? Mm-hmm. But target wise, if you guys are looking for who would be perfect for this business, go look around and see who is posting 10 times a day, because they're going to start posting Thrive 10 times a day if they love the product, right? There's that. And then anyone else who maybe they don't post. I have tons of girls on my team, you guys, that did not post anything prior. Like they were like total social media hiatus and just like living life. But, like somehow Thrive found them, and then they started posting about it because they wanted to help people. And at the end of the day, I always say this, if you want to help people, you're going to do great at this business. If you don't, if you're one of those people that really can't be bothered with helping people, this business is probably not for you, right? Just straight up. I see that all the time. Like, you want to help people.
I do want to mention, because I know that, the CBD line, the CBD skincare discontinued, the Pro Bar is being discontinued. Here's the thing, guys. So you're going to find that there's going to be things along the lines. First off, US and Canada. Okay. Sometimes there is a difference between what is available in the US and what's available in Canada, or there might be a slight difference in the product. And that has to do with Canadian, their stipulations are a little bit different, right? So that's why when we had the CBD line, they had the hemp version line, right? Like it was hemp that was in Canada. I've been literally, since I've been in this industry, my very first year, I wasn't even in for a year, and I signed my first Canadian promoter. Okay. And I'm in West Virginia. Okay. Just so you guys know, I'm a West Virginia in the mountains girl. Okay. Anyways, don't watch The Hills Has Eyes, because then you'll judge me for the rest of your life. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. So I had to learn very quickly there is a huge difference between the US and Canada in a lot of ways whenever it comes to the currency, when it comes to sometimes products that are available. But also outside of that, I've also had teams in the UK and different places. And I'm going to tell you, thank gosh, Canada is a blessing compared to some other countries. All right. Because my Lordy, some other places are some rough ones to work with, just because of the customs and so forth. It can be really overwhelming. With that said, when a product gets discontinued, it's for one of a couple reasons. One, it just wasn't selling. So there's not a reason to keep producing it. And sometimes it's because literally the demand, it's like a supply and demand, like that's not there. Or sometimes the cost of what it took to make that product might have overcrossed the lines of now we're not going to sell it because nobody's going to buy it at this amount, right? Or you couldn't get one of the ingredients or something. With that said, also things go in phases. CBD and stuff like that was really popular a couple years ago. Now it's starting to kind of dwindle down a little bit. So what did Thrive do? They pivoted because they still wanted to have a skincare line. And honestly, like I said, I love the CBD line. However, I love beyond love, the Lavelle skin. It's like my skin feels incredible. And as a 42-year-old woman, I will say, I love it. I love it. I haven't had a single breakout since. So I'm like, since my initial phase out to it. So there's always some adjustments sometimes in those products, right? And then
Cliff actually asked, because it was like last year, about a year ago, at one of our OC like events. They actually asked, like, what would you like to see in the skincare line? And so they were like planning this, and I told them, I'm like, I think like a lot of people are looking for vitamin C because it's one of the things that people are looking for, and like, voila, they put it in. And I was just telling someone, if you guys ever need to explain the difference between our skincare, basically our cleanser is something that is more usable and it's more like friendly, right? The peel, it takes some time, you have to peel, and then you have to, wipe it off and all that stuff. So cleanser is something that you guys can do daily. It's gentle enough for that. But the step 2 and step 3, very similar to the CBD skincare line. It's just that it doesn't have the CBD, obviously, because they went to go take out those ingredients because, like what Amanda was saying, they're just not using those ingredients anymore. And they fuse it with the vitamin C and the retinol in the step 2, okay, which is huge. It's really, really good for your skin. So it's almost like if you were to use both of them, they're almost the same. It's just that this one doesn't have CBD anymore. They put those 2 really amazing ingredients in. And then for the peptide cream, right? It's very similar to our step 3 for the CBD cream as well. It just doesn't have the CBD. And I don't know if you guys notice, I mean, I have a very sensitive nose. We don't have that hemp smell anymore, right? So this thing is totally scentless. It's super, super clean. And yeah, I love it. I feel like it's almost like the CBD skincare line. It just doesn't have the CBD, and it has some other things that are very much more usable, right? For now.
And I'm going to tell you, I haven't had to use like a primer on my face, which I do use in the winter time because my skin was getting real dry. Of course, we had this skincare line that came out, and as soon as like in April, so I've been using it since, but like I have not used a primer or anything like that on my skin, which I know that's kind of one of those things that some women are like, oh, you got to use. No, if your skin's fully moisturized, you absolutely do not have to use a primer if you don't want to, unless you have like pores that you need to fill in or something. But like, I have not. No, I've gone bare skinned a lot actually, since switching over, and I love that because especially in the summertime, I don't like to wear a whole lot on my face. So, I love it. But you guys, listen, you are going to find that sometimes, like I said, things are going to come and go and so forth, right? I do want to talk about creating momentum. All right. Momentum starts with you, first off. Okay. It doesn't start. I know a lot of people think momentum starts when there's like these bonuses and so forth going on. No. Momentum starts with you, and momentum might as well just have an equation, massive action. All right. Like literally, if you want to create momentum within your business, you will find, and I don't know how many of you guys have ever like read Eric Voorhees or like any of the different, and really you should kind of read certain like stuff. I read the first year of network marketing, 45-second presentation, like right my very first year in this industry. And the reason why I did that, and you should be seeking out kind of books like that too. And if you're real big into leadership, like, John Maxwell or Leaders Eat Last is a great one. But anyways, you want to kind of prepare yourself for pivoting and ideas, right? So like if you've never heard of the book Go for No, that's a good one too. You're going to create momentum by taking massive action, but doing little bursts of runs, right? So like say you say, I'm going to give myself 30 days, because it's real easy to say, not really much has happened in my business, or I'm down, or I'm discouraged, or, and it's okay to be those things as long as you don't stay there, right? Because the only thing that can change where you're at is what you do. And I can tell you, I was there. I was at that place where I had some people leave, in my organization, which happens, you guys, it happens. It sucks when it happens, but it does. And I was feeling really defeated. I hadn't signed anybody really that had worked, and like wanted to work in a while. I really wasn't putting it out there that I should be attracting that either, because my confidence was lacking. I was struggling. And so how did I change that? I started with what I knew, which was, okay, I need to work on getting my customers again. I need to work on kind of reaching out to people and putting it out there, and putting some sinkers in. I need to get really consistent with making sure I've got posts out there again, and really being intentional with sampling. So that's where it started. I started sampling heavily, and talking and having conversations, following up, reaching through new contacts, old contacts, right? And then I started to attract people again, because I started talking about where I was going, what I was wanting to accomplish, who I was wanting to help, how I was wanting to help them, right? Because people don't care what I'm doing. They care what I can help them with. They care what I can help them accomplish. So I started speaking as if I was speaking to one person, but I was actually speaking to multiple people. But I was being very intentional with that. I also created urgency with my samples, saying I'm going to sample out 2 samples today. Who wants them? Blah, 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 right? And creating those accounts, and also having like using my credits very wisely. I don't use credits. I don't give people like more credits than I think that they're going to order the next month. I want to make sure that they're going to be ordering the next month. And I always let my customers that are reordering know that if before their order goes out, I'm going to send them credits for their, like, it'll be what covers their shipping or something along those lines, because I want to reward those people that keep on coming back to me. I want to reward the people that are sending referrals to me. And so you want to get really kind of up your customer service game, and you'll be blown away. But also just up your energy on what you're putting out there. Like if you're kind of like Debbie Downer, I was going to be honest with you, Debbie Downer. And I mean, you are just putting stuff out there, and don't get me wrong, you can go through hard times. I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying is you don't want to put on your page, well, I just don't know about this business anymore, or jumping around confusing people about like you are posting about other stuff all the time or something, right? So you want to kind of let people know, like, no, like I'm doing this business. This is what I'm doing. I take my business serious, because they're not going to want to join you otherwise. They're going to want to join the next person that will take it serious, that will help them. So if you want to create momentum within yourself first, okay, it starts with you. And then as you get your footing, then you want to grab the people that are working around you, right? So like, it doesn't matter. and I have like a small little chat of some ladies, right? And what I did was I put these ladies in a chat because they are the leaders on their team. And by leaders, I mean they might not have one person. All right. In fact, one of the people I put in this chat did not have anybody because their whole team quit. But I don't really feel like a leader. I'm like, don't be talking like that. You are a leader. You share amazing tips. You're trying to help people. You absolutely are a leader. So quit lying to yourself. Okay. So now you just need people that you can help lead as you teach. I was not even a rank or anything in any business, and I started sharing stuff like that. And yes, I was a leader. You lead the way, right? So consistency. Somebody said that the key is the consistency of it, because like Jackie said, if you're not putting it out there or talking about it, then people don't know you're really doing it or sharing it. And if your main platform is on social media, and you're just talking about your cats and your dogs all day, every day, or whatever, and you're never talking about your business, like people don't even know you're building a business. And people need to know that like you can do this like around your family and around your friends, and you can talk about that. Like I do this when my kids are at school, or whenever, I just kind of do it all through. You don't want to work like Amanda. Amanda works literally crazy times, because it's like when I can fit this in or when I can fit that in. And in between, I'm picking a kid up, I'm dropping somebody off, I'm making dinner, I'm washing some clothes, I'm throwing stuff in the pool, I'm just everywhere. But that's what I can do. I could never do that when I was working as a nurse. I was gone for 13 and a half hours. Right. But now, and that's how I actually got into doing my business like that. It's like, wait, I could either spend the next 13 hours at the hospital, or I could spend, 3 hours before I go to bed and work my business, and wake up and then work my business, and voila. Now I get to be home and work a heck of a lot less at the hospital, away from my kids. I could, pull up to a soccer game and say, okay, Layla, mommy will be over whenever the game gets ready to start. And I could work my business up until the game starts. And then I can put my phone down and watch her game. And then I can leave, go home, and listen to a call or whatever. Right. So you're going to find ways, and you're going to attract people by showing them how they can work it around their crazy lives. Because people are going to say this, guys, I don't have money, I don't have time, and I don't know enough people. You've got to be able to show them ways to get around each and every one of those. We want to create the time. We want to create the money for them to be able to do this. First off, we run our business for free, and each and every one of you guys should shout that from the rooftops, because there are not very many companies that allow you to run your business for free by customer referrals, that you don't have to pay for your website, that you literally are commission qualified by your customers, that you can 100% get your products for free every single month and just pay shipping. And that your customers can do that too. That is a huge privilege. All right. Like that's ginormous. Most companies do have a membership fee, a renewal fee, a subscription that you have to have every month, and so forth. And we are very blessed and lucky that we don't have that, and that our customers actually get 100%. If they get somebody that gets the Thrive experience, somebody else gets Thrive experience, that person's getting 160 in credits the next month, and they can get their entire product for free. So that's gold mine, right? Jackie, is there anything else? I feel like there was something else. I'm looking at my notes. Oh, the VIP 800 VIP. Okay. So you guys just get somebody in a 3-way chat with a sideline, an upline, or so forth. If you don't have an upline that's working, grab a sideline that you can like use as accountability partner. I know I was talking to Kaylee and a couple other people. I know some of you guys are in like the Thriver Safe Haven, and some of you guys have different customer stuff going on and so forth. But I'm actually thinking about doing a challenge for customers of some kind to kind of get them excited. I just posted about Duo Elite and why I'm excited about it. Listen, when Duo, and I even put this on my personal page, when Duo launched 5 years ago, I ate like crap. A lot of people have amazing results from it. I had shit results from it because I did not eat very good and I didn't take care of myself. Okay. So I didn't get the magical results everybody else that did do those things got. So I didn't like it. But now that my body has changed, my nutrition has changed, my relationship with food has changed, I know if I eat small meals, more frequently, and I fuel myself with protein, and I'm drinking, like I'm looking forward to Duo Elite. I think it's going to be bomb.com. I don't know if you guys caught that BMI management part of it. Did you read that? Yeah. Read the description of Duo. Hold on. Duo Elite. Hold on a second. I got it right here because I literally copied it down on in my post today because I said, you've got to be kidding me. This stuff is incredible. So listen, guys. All right. Increased caffeine for thermogenic activity, BMI management ingredients, okay, supports fat burning while retaining lean muscle, formulated to increase energy and weight reduction and expanded Duo footprint for optimal ingredient mobility. So here's the thing, guys, that you need to understand. A couple of the things, and it says further up in it, is that increased force lean, right? Force lean also helps us. If you just Google force lean, you can read all about force lean. Okay. There's so many benefits in it and for your overall health, cholesterol, all kinds of stuff, but also appetite suppression and so on. Right. I'm going to tear this up. I think it's like Gemnema sylvestre or whatever, burns fat while retaining the lean muscle. That's what that ingredient. I honestly had not seen that yet at all. So I'm going to be like Googling up and doubling the PEA to support higher energy levels and an increase in the L-carnitine also for fat burning. What does that tell me is that you better take some damn pictures. Okay. And you probably want to step on the scale as well. Because I have a feeling that if you incorporate this with proper diet and exercise and hydration, you are going to be freaking transformed. And I'm telling you, I really wish that we had Ultimate Thriver going on right now, because I think that Elite was next level. And you're going to have some people, guys, that do not like Elite, like hate Elite. Okay. Those people, chances are not eating every 3 hours, or they are not, they're not really targeted to wanting to eat like that or anything. So really prepare your customer. Like I just had the lady reach out to me about Duo Elite from my post. I know that she had gastric sleeve surgery. Okay. And I had gastric sleeve surgery. I made sure I asked her, are you going to be able to eat every 3 to 4 hours a little bit of protein and keep yourself going? Okay. Because if not, there are people that have had gastric sleeve or gastric bypass that they just can't eat, guys. Or I've had a lot of questions about like the Ozempic and different medications and so forth. First off, if you're on Ozempic or any of Wegovy or any of those diet, like the diabetic weight loss medications right now, I want you to just go ahead and go to bariatric pages, go to bariatric support type of situation, and understand that your body is going to work very much just like you had surgery, bariatric surgery, and you absolutely need to make sure you eat, because if not, well, even if so, you are going to probably lose hair. Anybody that has massive weight loss is going to lose hair. If you do not have protein, you will lose lean muscle. And this is very refreshing to see that this helps preserve that lean muscle. Okay. Because one of the first things that people end up burning is muscle instead of fat. That's why you want to make sure you're feeding your body the way that it needs to, so that you're fueling your body the way it needs to. Or else it's going to fuel off of some kind of reserve, and you want that reserve to be what you want to get rid of, not what you want to keep, right? Because muscle burns fat, right? but fat just kind of coagulates fat. So we want to get rid of that. But anyways, make sure that you're getting your customer signed up with like what it is that they want. And then also there's incredible resources in our Thrive Connect new promoters to Thrive Connect app and in your resources tab. One last thing I got to say, I know I'm over, but I want to make sure, because I did this today, make sure if you are new from the 26th on, or you flipped from customer to promoter, you do hit the make the call tab under your home. Also, make sure you do the compliance check thingies under resources so you can get your credits. Like there's 3 different levels of the compliance checkoffs, right? So if you've been around for a while, you've already done it. If you are newer and you've not done any of those, go get those free credits. That's easy. You know, it's easy. Don't forget to do it though. Because I know I talked to 2 people today that had just restarted like within this past couple months, and they did not do that. And they were like, oh yeah, I never even thought to do that. I'm like, yeah, go do it. Go do it. Go get those credits. Because like that's free. I didn't even realize I got them the last one I got until after I looked. I said, oh, cool. I forgot I got this. So yeah. Anything else, Jackie, that you can imagine? I'm excited. You guys have had to have seen that Amanda's like the old Amanda.
I mean, no, not really, other than focus on like, obviously getting people on Thrive and then leading them into, VIP. And what Amanda was saying of like getting somebody into a 3-way is literally just being excited and just saying, hey, I want you to meet my friend. She's been doing this longer than me. And just building that connection. Like, how do you guys know each other? We had talked about this on a previous call, but it doesn't have to be so like, oh, like business, right? It's more of the connection of like, how did you get here, right? What is your
story and so
yeah,
forth.
like how are you feeling? Like, I'm so excited for you. Like, what is your home situation like? Like, what do you do for work? Like, those are the things that I talk about in my welcome calls. And then we drop in later, like, yeah, the VIP bonuses are here. Like, try to focus on that in your first 2 weeks, because, once they're gone, like, then you're just, rolling with sharing Thrive, right? But the first 2 weeks is like those bonuses, and even asking the question, who would support you, right? Who do you know that would do this with you right now? And just by asking that question, you guys, you'll be surprised, because they're already having people in their head most of the time. They're like, well, I have this one friend, I have like, you got to pull it out of them, right? That's what that call is about. Very, very important call, you guys. Very important call.
Absolutely. And you guys, here's the thing is that imagine you starting, if you feel like it would overwhelm you, don't do it to them, right? So just like take it one step at a time and ask them what it is that they need. That's a big question I like to ask is, what is it that you need? How can I support you? How can I help you achieve your goals, right? And they'll tell you what they want. And sometimes they don't know. They'll be like, I want to achieve this, but I don't know how I'm going to do that. I'm like, all right, well, are you open for suggestions? And then we kind of go from there. And then I'll add them in if I, need to add them into a chat. And I do like to get that extra support too. Me too, right? I like to get that extra support and extra person for them to be able to connect with as well, in case they can't get a hold of me. So all right, guys, it's been extra long. I'm super sorry. Amanda chats, but I will get this up immediately. Tomorrow's leadership calls Jamie Peck, or I'm going to interview Jamie. So it'll be a good one. It'll be definitely a good one. So if you guys get a chance to hop on. I'll make sure I get the recording up too. So bye, guys. Have a good night. Thanks, Jackie. Thanks, guys.